And we're recording. Hey guys, Joelle and Krista, we're back. Episode 2 of our unnamed podcast. We're really taking, recommendations on names.
I think we have some good ideas.
Yeah, we have some good ideas. We need to iron them out.
Yeah.
So today, the way we want to spend our time, I know last time we talked about, mindset and social media and a couple other things. So today we kind of want to spend our time talking about this really beautiful thing that we have called a pandemic. So talking about motivation loss, maybe a little bit of weight gain, our bodies changing as we're stuck in our homes, limited access to tons of things, and just kind of how our mindsets are going one way and we kind of want to make them go another, looking at more positive aspects and how we can kind of flip things around for ourselves if you are experiencing that. I know Krista's got some great tips to work through for you guys. And so we're going to spend our time that way today. And we'll kind of go back and forth. I had spoken to one of our members, obviously going to go unnamed, but I wanted to bring it up because I think a lot of people are dealing with maybe the same situation. They're feeling the same way. And basically, the conversation we had is this person had reached out to me and just said, thank you for pushing me during Zoom camps. Like, it is so much different than logging into that, Beachbody on demand or whatever things that aren't live and you aren't actually working out with a trainer. It is very different. You're able to work one-on-one in a way with us, with your burn family. You can pin somebody. So that's definitely something that I would try out if you guys haven't hopped on a Zoom. Obviously outdoor, if you're going there, is great. So one of the things that she was talking about was that her body is changing, his or her body is changing, and just the differences in either weight gain or weight loss and kind of things shifting away from the goals in the way that she wanted to, move towards. So for this person, it was maybe adding on a couple of pounds here or there that they had previously lost because of burn and working hard at the gym. So kind of working through that and thinking about what has brought you to this point. You're stuck in the house. Maybe you have children. You're not able to get out. You're not able to bring them places or get as much activity and time to yourself. Maybe your diet is taking a hit. I know that a lot of us are being home. We have those cupboards stocked, children or not, family members or not, whether you live at home by yourself or with someone else. There are those times where you're at the grocery store and you pick up a little treat or a box of Cheez-Its or something like that, and you throw it in the cupboard. And there's those times where you're doing nothing and it's like, oh, I guess I could just have a little snack. Or I will reach for those Cheez-Its because I'm bored, not hungry. So one of the things I discussed with this member was, taking that time either, when the kids go to bed, to meal prep, to cut up some bell peppers, to throw some sugar snap peas in a portion container, and talking with them about, moving more towards that than saying, screw it, I'll just not eat today, or I'll just only have that cup of coffee, and at night, because I didn't eat, I'll have ice cream for dinner. So setting yourself up for success with that in mind. I understand that we have children, we have stuff, we as in you all, I do not have any. But Krista can probably attest to the fact that things are going on a million miles a minute all the time when you have kids. So my recommendation was when they go to bed, stay up an extra 10, 20 minutes, cut up some bell peppers for tomorrow or for the week on a Sunday or Monday to have something to grab. And even though you still maybe have those Cheez-Its or Oreos in the cupboard, and yeah, of course you'd love to eat them, it doesn't align with your goals. So if you have something else to grab and you make a habit of grabbing that instead, you're going to feel better about your decisions. Not only that, but also not be taking in extra calories that you maybe haven't accounted for that day. Do you have anything to say about that?
No, I think that's great. I mean, it's hard because especially with kids and husbands that maybe aren't on the same page as you as far as what your goals are. It's hard because you tend to make 3 meals, depending on what, your kids' nutrition is like. Some of them are picky, so it's hard. And then the last person you get to is usually yourself. And then by that time you're tired, so you just grab whatever you want. But I really do try to push that meal prep as much as possible because it makes a huge difference. It's available. It's ready to go. We live even in this crazy time, we're still very grab and go lifestyle. I mean, I try to get my kids out of the house as much as possible. And so having like the cut up vegetables or protein bites or whatever to grab, instead of the, little mini bag of Cheez-Its or Cool Ranch Doritos, which are my two go-tos. It's just better to have that option. And yeah, you want to still be able to have, I mean, I love Cool Ranch Doritos. I always use that one as my thing. So I want to be able to have those when I want to have them. They may not be the best option, but like I can still stay on track with my goals and still incorporate that if I really, really want it. So it's just prioritizing yourself a little bit before, and it's hard to think about, but putting yourself before the family. It's hard to say that and do that. It's not like you're putting them off to the side. You're just taking care of you. And we've said it a million times, like the best you is going to be the best for them. So, you get real defeated when you start to lose motivation and fall off track. And so we've come up with some really good tips for you guys, and hopefully that gets you back on track or stay focused and motivated.
Yeah, and I think obviously Cheez-Its was mine, one of them. But like if you are tracking and like I would love just to like kind of snack on when I'm watching my show later tonight, couple Cheez-Its, whatever. Throw them in if you're tracking, which everyone should at least try it. If you're tracking, throw those in first when you're planning out your day. So you know that you get that treat. You're less likely to cheat if you know, okay, at least I get my Cheez-Its or at least I get my ice cream. I was talking to one of our members about that. She loves her ice cream sandwiches or whatever. Put it in first. Then point everything or revolve everything else in your diet that day around that treat. You get it. So a couple things that came to mind with that meal prep is part of it. Trying to reverse that whole weight gain, getting away from your goals and moving more towards focusing on them again. Also finding a routine where you are either, writing on a whiteboard where you want to accomplish going to 3 Zoom camps a week to get started, or 4, or walking an additional 3 or 4 times a week, a mile a day or 2 miles a day, putting it in front of you. We said this on our last podcast, our last episode, putting it on there and making sure that is a priority. You can't serve other people unless you serve yourself first. It seems backwards. It seems selfish. It's not. It's you can't love other people unless you are loving yourself. You're able to serve yourself. So sure, give the kids the Cheez-Its, the treats, and just force yourself the first couple days to just grab that other stuff that you've prepped, okay? And then that routine of trying an outdoor camp if you haven't. I get our expecting mamas, I would definitely not. I would steer clear of that. The beauty of that, especially with the heat. I would say on those cooler days, absolutely. But those Zoom camps are great for you guys. You were able to stay in the AC. You're able to do it from home. You've got kids running around. Everybody has things going on. So use those Zoom camps. Find an accountability buddy. Yesterday was upper body day. I had a tough night the night before. I didn't really want to work out. I had trained 3 camps already. I was up at 5. And I was like, I guess I'll just push through. Krista ended up logging on, didn't know, we hadn't spoken. And I immediately pinned her. I was like, I need to push. And I didn't know, but she had the same exact feeling. Like we were both, without saying anything to each other, pushing each other through those freaking Arnold presses, man. Those were burning.
They were
Christy crushed us on that upper body, but I wouldn't have got it done as hard and as well if I didn't pin her. So finding a friend or a buddy, you don't even really have to tell them. Like if you know that you used to work out next to somebody and maybe you're not friends, maybe you don't talk much, hi here and there, just pin them. And honestly, it's a really nice compliment if at the end you're like, hey, by the way, Krista, I pinned you, you helped me push. It's as easy as that, finding that accountability to push a little bit harder, going to that next level. And that will help you find a little bit of motivation, I think, as well. And then just starting, like if you are, you're seeing all this stuff going on in the members page, maybe you're a little intimidated. Maybe it's like, I don't know how I'm going to do, I'm scared to go back to camp. I haven't been there in a couple weeks. Like another member I was talking to, she's like, Joelle, I just want to let you know, I've come back. I've been away for 2 weeks, tons going on. Life just got in the way and we get it. But starting is one of the only ways you're going to continue. You have to start. And I mean, Zoom's a great opportunity. You're in your own space. You've got that accountability from us training you, but also you're in that kind of safe spot where you're not around everybody at that outdoor camp. Start there. and prioritize that first, maybe in your day. Take that 45 minutes, allow yourself to take advantage of this amazing opportunity we have through this quarantine, like leaning on things like exercise. If I didn't have it, not sure where I'd be.
Yeah.
I think, Krista, you feel the same?
Yep. I sure do. Yeah, those were great. Are you still going? Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to give a couple other tips, but I really liked the one that you said. And this was my first one, is love yourself today as is. Like, love yourself today. I mean, you may not be where you see yourself or want to be, but you got to love, and we've talked about this numerous times, just loving the whole journey. So I think just sometimes, and it may sound really, really stupid to do, but if you just stand and stare at yourself in the mirror and give yourself one compliment, and it's actually on the Burn Go, giving yourself a compliment. I think it's on there. If it's not, it should be, and we'll just add that in, but I'm pretty sure it's there. Giving yourself a compliment is the hardest thing to do. So if you just stand there and look at yourself and just tell yourself something that you absolutely love about yourself, maybe about your body, maybe whatever, try doing that. It's honestly hard. I struggle with it, but do it. And it's actually feels really rewarding once you get it off your chest and say it out loud and say it to yourself. So, I mean,
that's what I do every night. I do that every night. This is one of the things I talked to that member about was mindfulness, like practicing mindfulness. And this is the last thing, my last topic that I wanted to touch on was I do this every night. Some nights I'm not having a great night. The other night, one of the examples. So I didn't do it. Probably more important that I should have because I was having a bad day, but I have a notebook. It's fun. We all like getting new notebooks. Come on, right before bed, you got a brand new notebook. You're going to write down 3 positive things from that day. Doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh my gosh, I ran 6 miles today. It could be, I washed the dishes that were in the sink for 2 days because I didn't have time. I finally got that done. That's 1. 2, I hit my gallon. It doesn't even have to be related to exercise or your body or anything. Like I really enjoyed my walk today. I was able to clear my head. I vacuumed, God forbid, something like that. 3 of them every night I do right before I get to bed. It's right next to it's right on my nightstand. And then there's one thing that night that day that you enjoyed about yourself, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, emotional, whatever. It could be like, oh, I like that my nails are growing. Like that's it. I used to get my nails done all the time. I don't anymore. 1, because we're in a pandemic, and 2, because I've been drinking my water. I've been focusing on myself and I'm just painting them myself, whatever. That day, that was it. The next day it was, wow, my demo video, my arms look decent. I like them today. And it could mean that day that you like them. Maybe the next day you're like, I like my legs today, whatever. And it's slowly but surely you're going to start to build up that little bit of confidence that you may have lost or maybe you've never had. And those positive things, it helps you not only go to bed with kind of a little bit more positive outlook, but you wake up feeling like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to find at least 3 positive things out of today, even if it's silly or seems unimportant to a million other people. That's your notebook, your positive things that you focused on, and focusing on those first is going to then in turn start to build up that confidence little by little. So fully agree. Love that tip.
Yeah. Yep. It's tough, but I love the idea of like getting those little check boxes of things you accomplished and then just giving yourself a compliment. I think giving yourself a compliment, just talking nicely to yourself, and that whole thing we talked about last podcast about wording, it's really hard, but it does so much for your, like, just internally, it does so much. There was actually a study done that I want to get the details on it because it was so long ago that I read it, but it was like this guy took like an apple, let's just say, put it in a bag, took another apple, put it in the other bag, talked really, really nicely to the one apple, talked down to the other apple. I think it was a TED Talk or something. And then like a week later or a couple days later, he looked at both apples and one was like rotting. The other one was like totally fine and healthy. It was along the lines of that kind of a study. And it was just really interesting. If I find that, I'll try to post it on this as well. But it's just amazing.
Too.
Yeah. So talking to yourself just in a positive way can change how you feel all around. Another one was realistic expectations for yourself. So setting goals, focusing on those goals, but make it a realistic thing that you can actually accomplish. Don't be like, I did this one time where I was like, I'm going to hike the Saranac 6 or I'm going to do like the 46 peaks and I'm going to do that Saranac 6 and like I think it's like there's a challenge out there where it's like 24 hours. You hike the 6 peaks. You get like a sticker for the back of your car. And I was like, I wanted to do that so bad. But like my lifestyle, like I got to hike, I think 2 of them. And it wasn't in 24 hours. It was like one year, another one, like, I don't know, next year. But it just wasn't realistic for me. So I set like this huge, crazy goal. And like, it's still in my head. Like I still someday definitely will and want to, but like, I know right now it's not the right time. So like set a goal that's actually realistic that you can achieve. Make sure it's like really specific, write it down, like write the goal down. Maybe it's a big goal and maybe there's steps, little mini goals that get you to that big goal. And then just, I would put like a time frame on it and try to really push yourself to get there. And examples can just be something so silly, like, and it's not silly, but just something smaller. It doesn't have to be hiking 6 peaks. You know, it could just be like taking a 30-minute walk every single day, maybe after dinner, or maybe you do something with your kids that you haven't done that you've wanted to do, or maybe reading a book that you have been that's been sitting there, and it's collecting dust and you're picking it up and you're dedicating like every night 10 pages done. So little things like that. And then I always have like a bigger goal that I try to aim towards. So setting that up. Anything you want to add to that?
No, absolutely. So I think I've said it a million times, but going on those walks is really what gets me to just kind of take that space for myself. It could be 2 miles. Sometimes it's 4 or 5. Usually it's by myself. Sometimes it's social distance with a friend, walking the canal, whatever. Fully agree. And you know, having one big goal is huge, and then kind of setting up those little goals. Every day I have another notebook. I'm a notebook freak, but having something like 3 things, like, okay, clean the floors, make sure I get my walk in, make sure I work out. Sometimes that's all I have on my list, but it's being able to check it off, successful, boom, boom, boom. Every day it's a little bit different. Sometimes they're big, like making sure I pay my mortgage, or as little as that, just doing the dishes. So yes, love it all. Agreed.
Another one is celebrating your successes along the way. So I mean, it could be as simple as giving yourself like a pat on the back, being like, man, that was awesome. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like you hit 53 double unders today and like you go out and celebrate. I'm talking more like, I don't know, you have that big goal maybe, and you've got like 3 ones, and you get to that first goal, that little goal that you accomplished, maybe giving yourself a manicure, taking time to do that. Maybe it's one of those check boxes, one of those fun ones. Can't really go to movies anymore, but I was trying to think of things that were, maybe you buy yourself like a new burn shirt or a new pair of shorts to go with your new burn shirt, or I don't know, a new pair of sneakers that you can like do cardio in, or whatever it is. Just kind of celebrate yourself. I'm trying to steer clear of like the cheat meal or the celebration meal or whatever, because those should just be part of your lifestyle anyways. There's nothing, that's a whole different topic. But
Next podcast episode.
yeah, podcast number 3.
Yeah.
So just celebrating yourself in those victories, non-scale victories, scale victories, whatever it is, celebrating yourself and really like letting yourself be happy about that achievement that you accomplished. Another one was accountability, which we talked about. Pinning. Burn Sisters is awesome for your workouts, but maybe finding like a Burn tribe or some people that you can hang out with, even on Zoom or text messages or whatever, that are in the same mind frame as you, or like your family, making sure they know what your goals are and just asking for a little bit of support so that you have that accountability. Like, I don't know, maybe like your boyfriend or husband or significant other or friend, just kind of keeping them in check, like, hey, like I'm trying to aim towards this, you know, fitness wise or personal or whatever, and I really need your support to help me through it. Like, you're one of my go-to people. Can you just be on the same page as me and partner up with me with this? Or I don't know, something like that. So Burn Sisters are great for that. That's what our community is based on. But also, we're not always with our Burn Sisters, although some of us are constantly with Burn Sisters.
Every day, all day.
Every day. And I use you guys the most out of anybody. But maybe just like family support or another group of friends, just being supportive, I think is huge and will help you stay on track too.
Have them cue you. So like my boyfriend, if I'm kind of being a little bit crabby or like picking a fight for absolutely no reason, he'll cue me and he'll say, and we've talked about it, we had a conversation. I said, listen, if there's ever an argument and you feel like it's silly, or maybe I'm just maybe overreacting, God forbid, do not say that to me, but instead say, Joelle, have you taken time for yourself today? He literally will say, have you taken your walk yet today? Have you worked out yet today? And I've told him to cue me in that sense. And then when I'm acting that way, or and I'm not realizing that I'm doing it, I will say no, and he'll say, okay, then why don't we put this on pause? You do what you need to do, and then we'll come back to this if it's still important when you're done. Can I tell you how many times it's actually been important? Not once. We've been doing it for like 6 months. It's new. It's hard. That is something that I speak to a therapist regularly. I think everyone should at least try it if you feel, want an unbiased opinion. That's something that she talked to me about doing. And since that conversation, it's been, one, I've taken more time for myself, but two, I have that accountability with him to say, have you worked out today? Do you want to maybe do that? Go for your walk. We'll pick it back up when you get back. So yes, I fully agree with that one. I love that one.
Yeah, that's interesting. I always know when I'm like, I can tell when I'm in a bad mood and I'm taking like little things and getting annoyed. And as soon as I work out, or my kids or husband is like, hey, have you worked out yet today?
And the wording is very important, especially for me. So like if there is something that's really important to me and I'm upset about it, I will still go work out, or maybe it's just going on my walk or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm still upset about it. Yes, then you address it. During your workout though, it's funny. I can actually feel, sometimes it's 10 minutes in, sometimes it's not even till the finisher or till I'm done with my walk, but I can feel that switch, those wheels just turning, going from that aggravated, annoyed, bitter feeling to, okay, maybe I feel better now. And it's actually a chemical balance in your brain that's actually working with your body and how your body's responding to that exercise. So absolutely, that when I talk about during camps, you'll hear me say that switch should be flipped now. You should be feeling a little bit better. Maybe it's not till a little bit later, but it's a very real thing for sure.
This is totally not on topic, but I've always said, like, the second I used to walk into burn, whatever was happening, like out in my world, the second my mind knew where I was going, like I'd step in through the burn doors or hop on Zoom or whatever, all of the things that I was like totally stressing about on the drive to, or on my little staircase up to Mary's room, like gone instantly. 45 minutes. I was definitely not thinking about the stuff that was going on in my personal life. I was so focused on working out, and it's really crazy how that happens. So
maybe we need to start cueing you guys on Zoom. Maybe something that we start doing is saying, okay, now's the time we're going to start our warm up. We start eliminating what's behind us, like leave your ego at the door, but leave your thoughts and stuff at the door. I think I've said it before. This is 45 minutes uninterrupted. Maybe your kids jump in, fine. But those thoughts that are bothering you need to be left and pick them back up when you're done.
That's the way it happens. I mean, it should naturally walk in that door and it's your you time. So put all that junk behind you and just focus on you and crushing your workout, or, whatever you need for that 45 minutes. Back on topic, be okay with setbacks and challenges. So, you've got these goals set up or whatever you're doing, and something crosses your path and it kind of sets you back a little bit, or there's a challenge that comes your way, whatever the case may be. Do not freak out. Do not go off track. Give yourself a second to like heal or whatever it is that you need to do, and then get back into it. Don't talk bad to yourself. Don't, you missed, I don't know where I could go a million different directions with this, but like, let's just say nutrition, like, you missed lunch. So you just end up being like, whatever, something comes up, happens, you're just eating like garbage. So then you just screw it. The whole entire day is dedicated to garbage eating. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. There's no point in doing that. Just pick yourself back up, learn how to do that, and get back on track and try to stay focused on what your main goals are. They're going to be out in front of you. Hopefully you do that vision board or whatever, whiteboard, like Joelle said. And it's okay to fail. I wouldn't aim for perfection. That's not the goal here. You want to keep it realistic, and challenges are going to come your way, and just stay as zoned in and focused and concentrated on that as much as you possibly can. Anything you want to add?
No, I guess if you're trying to connect it to a workout, it'd be like failing at push-ups. Like you're going as
Yeah.
many times as you can on those toes. You're not going to be like, oh, screw it, I'm done eating. I'm done doing push-ups for the rest of the day. No, you're going to go to your knees and you're going to continue to do them just a little bit modified. And failure is good. It teaches you something. It teaches you, as far as push-ups, that you need to go a little bit, down on those knees, but you've pushed to your max. Food, in that sense, should say like, okay, like I missed lunch. It doesn't mean like I'm just going to throw it all away and just eat pizza for the rest of the night. Have your pizza if you really want it, but don't make yourself feel guilty for something and then continue to support that idea of I'm a failure today. No, you missed lunch. Have a salad. Have some broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli recipe that Krista loves. Don't tell her if you don't like it though.
Grilled broccoli.
Yeah,
Don't like it. It's good.
Yeah.
And then the last one is make this a priority. Make yourself a priority. Make your goals a priority. It's that simple. Just make it part of your day. Every day you wake up, you get to decide how your day is going to be. You get to just organize your whole entire day. It's your life. So make whatever your goal is a priority for yourself. And it's just that simple.
It is. And one thing too that I wanted to touch on with that is I think a lot of us are maybe experiencing sleep deprivation, or, we're feeling super, super tired. I was talking to someone about this, and it was like, was talking to them. I was like, man, I've been really tired lately. And they were like, me too. I feel really guilty about taking that nap in the middle of the day when nothing is going on, but I just feel guilty about taking it. If your body is like voluntarily falling asleep in the middle of the day, you need to take that time to do that. Your body is tired. It needs rest. We go hard in our 45 minutes, and that's not just your day. That's 45 minutes of your day. I am assuming you guys are going crazy. You're doing other things. And if you're not, and you're sitting there and you have nothing going on, your mind is still either overworking and overdrive, or maybe you're looking at a Zoom screen all day, working from home, and our minds cognitively cannot understand 27 little Zoom pictures moving all around. That's why I had to get those blue light glasses. They look like goggles. But anyways, they help me. I should be wearing them, because that blue light on the screen, our minds work overdrive cognitively to try to keep up with that. They're not used to it. So going from not staring at a screen, staring at a bunch of people in a room is a lot different than staring at a computer screen all day. So look into some blue light glasses. Number one, Amazon, they're like $25. That protects your eyes. You can see the difference when you take them off. And then resting, like that is a way of putting yourself first. When you need that rest, taking it and making sure that you don't feel guilty for doing that. God forbid you take an hour long nap, or maybe it's 4 hours and you haven't missed anything, but your body needs that. And that's a way to put yourself first. Once we start losing sleep, we will hold on to our weight. We will get crabby. We will not have the energy to do a lot of things. So if you can't get it in the middle of the night and you can get it in the middle of the day, do it, and don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah, sleep plays a huge role. Listening to your body, major.
So many things. Like, I was listening to something the other day, and it was like 7 things, and I was like, I need to be sitting down to write this down, because I was on my walk, and I couldn't obviously keep track of 7 things in my head. I got 8 other things going on. So yes, sleep for sure. We'll touch on that at some point.
Yeah, that's a whole topic within itself, but yes, for sure. Yeah, that's all I had for those tips and staying on track.
Absolutely. So again, reminder that we are all in this pandemic together, whether you are quarantined or you are going out little bits in the day. It is tough. It's something that most of us have never experienced, whether you're 18 years old or you're 50 or 60 years old. It's tough. It's hard not being able to really see your whole family at one time, or, spending days thinking like, when is this going to be over? It's just best to focus on what we have available to us. Zoom camps, outdoor camps, pinning people, finding that motivation, keep meal prepping, keep those positive things going, those goals that are reachable, and lean on us. Like, we're here. We've got those wide open focus meetings. So message us. Let us know what you need. We're happy to help. We're feeling what you're feeling too. And also, a little disclaimer. These are all tips that we've learned from other people that we are listening to. We're reading articles. This is all really valuable information. However, this is not a surprise to you. We are not doctors. So that being said, if we do end up referring you to a specialist, something like that, It's because that we know a lot of things. We're learning along with you. And some things it's just you need to be moved on to, yeah, okay, an injury, or maybe it's a referral to someone to talk to other than us. But you guys are doing awesome. I'm so happy. I love doing these. I love trying to give you guys tips and things that you can actually utilize. I love seeing Krista 7 times a day. So this is just an hour together. So yeah, so let's end it here. Comment with any questions, message us, keep us in the loop, get those workouts in, enjoy the sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. And peace and love. We love you guys. We'll post this in the members page.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a great day. Thanks, Krista.